Welcome to the Daily Log. Previously, we've shown how to unbox and set up one of these bad boys, and we've got another one ready to go as a service. We're running a training. Let me just get that. We're running a training campaign. So bear with me. Yeah, so training campaign on how to install, configure, and some of the more less known about use cases. Some of the more popular ones, obviously. So the remote that works is an absolute godsend. The one button Netflix doesn't sound that revolutionary, but trust me, for my customer segment, it certainly is. And I will go to this shop because I do want some insulation for noise. And I'll get back to old mate in a moment. So we're working on this environment here, and this is a laboratory, believe it or not. This is where I do all of my testing. And the use case is for a person who may be confined to this particular chair. All of my designs will be based around that particular style of chair. A, because I know it's $139, and then the mobility or the transport mechanism, the thing that mobilises it, that's going to be my focus. So this we'll get to in due course and make a proprietary version of that particular model. However, at this stage, the emphasis is going to be around the powertrain, the movement mechanism. How do we mobilise these things, and how do we program? More importantly, so we can have a stored procedure. I hope you can see where it's going for, and this would be a use case. So the customer segment we're targeting is going to be the aged care sector, and so with a person that's relatively less mobile than they once were, this trolley can come to this person in this aged care facility that's modelled. We've got a 3D model of this on the go once I get my computer going. I haven't had any coffee yet, but I'm working on it. So essentially we'll design a 3D model based on the dimensions of this place here, merely because I'm familiar with it, right? I know the space well, so my spatial awareness and perception, because I've been confined here due to COVID, has become rather acute. So, and I think it's a funky size. I think it's a very funky size, avails itself to modular construction, and don't think that I haven't gone down that way. So on the external, on the internal, you've got, well, basically if you replace that cornice with scaffold and joins where the cornice joins, so that's all steel around the perimeter, and then you've got your posts coming up and joining that in the corners there, and then however far out you've got. Now the support, I designed this based as a minimum on whatever the ISO container specifications are, right? So the containers that go on those ships, you can stack them 20 high, right? So on the external, right, you should get away with that. And it's just a question of the number of posts and the spans, and I don't have those calculations. But there's an engineering team in Germany that, trust me, can do stuff like this in their sleep. So the TIV, the DIN, the static load, all of that stuff they can engineer. So that's not the problem. And we're not even going there just yet, because before we do, we are now a design studio offering this space out to design students who we're training some, We might have guest designer come and stay in the facility, sit in the comfy chair, use the facility, test out what we have, tell us what we might use or implement, mark some assignments, basically just be the patron visiting lecturer. And then we'll have meetings in here where people are allowed to run their own projects, and we'll have an overhead storage bin configuration that I'm working on for here, and also in the garage where these can be locked up. You've got your lock box, it's overhead, and then various teams come in, work collaboratively or on their own. We've got a full office staff behind the doors here. Cleaners away today. We are hiring a cleaner and office manager stroke facilities manager for here. So basically you run your project, you come in and you go, oh, hang on a minute, I need to do some administration today, Zot. And you go, get the calculator out. Or you've got someone to do that for you, So that's the, so you've got all of that legal crap covered in that cabinet, right? So imagine that's just a separate office, it's not. So you've got other departments, you've got the, well, that'd be the admin and control team that do that. Then you've got your virtual assistant service excellence team. Basically, they do admin and control and compliance, and they just get jobs done online. Won't disturb them just yet because they're busy. So they're the engine room of getting online tasks done. Those two. Both functions currently being performed by one person due to COVID and due to, well, we don't know. That job's just come in. 130 millimetres. Roger that. Okay, I'll get to that later. So you can see we do a little bit of design in here as well, and then we take this and we just put that into, your SketchUp or whatever, and then we can model that out of plastic in a 3D printer. And go, right, okay, and then on it we've got, if that was 2.7 metre, fucking 100 by 100 bloody timber treated pine R3 external non-structural post, right? That'd be on there somewhere, and it'd be 2.7 millimetres, and I'd colour code it, so I'd paint that pink, and this one pink, and where they join, I'd go, yeah, and then I'd go, pink one, pink two, right? And that's that, and they're marked either on the posts themselves or both on the plans. So the instructions are what we also do. Flat packing we want to flat pack the unit that I'm in currently. Right, want it to fold up, and basically I don't want to compromise on any of this wall here. So I'll get to the 830 millimetre. So that one there is that's the original shelf with everything on it, and I've just added that recently, and these lights, and I'm doing tutorials on how I'm faring with those lights, and the lights are called Hue, H-U-E, from Philips, and they've got like meethue.com, that's where you go and find out, and I'm going to start a website called FARQ, right, the FARQ, and say why Hue should be immediately removed from the market. The Bluetooth variety of that light, while I'm off on a rant, is absolutely atrocious. And I suppose I'll demonstrate now what we would do as a class action is I'd upload this video and go, have you recently bought a Hue light? And yes. Can you get your Hue light to perform the police light flashing function? Where are you going, son? Look, on this device, right, this comes with a bit of software which doesn't work, right? And I have spent the best part of the weekend sitting in front of that particular unit trying to get this little bad boy to function as implied, in fact not implied but expressly states it's got an away from home function somewhere here in the blurry fine print with me goggles on. Anyway, trust me, it's somewhere on the box. Bluetooth, what a joke. So my television, Sony, right, having had a lot of drama finding the Bluetooth snoomy worm, right? What's that? That's the Bluetooth goes into a, what's Bluetooth? It's a radio frequency. It's a channel on your two-way radio that allows that device there to communicate with, over this radio channel, to another Bluetooth enabled device, for example, those telephones, and indeed this television. That remote control and the television is controlled by Bluetooth. So look out. It used to be a security flaw to be avoided because now most go through Wi-Fi. And my suspicion would be that this device has been superseded by the sexier yet more expensive device, which is the Hue Sync, which doesn't run on the USB protocol, rather Bluetooth protocol, beg pardon. It runs on the Wi-Fi protocol. What's the Wi-Fi protocol? Well, Wi-Fi is another radio frequency. It allows Wi-Fi enabled devices, right? It basically got a radio transmitter, radio receiver, and it communicates with this here. Well, is that the internet? Not just yet, it's not. Because that then's got to be connected to your broadband, right? And that's fibre to the premises, so that's fibre optic, flashing light instead of a pulsing, instead of electric, which used to run down the copper wire on your old phone, which used to be somewhere about there. There it is. But this is now the newfangled bit, and if you game enough, just rip this off the wall, stick your fingers under there, and you like to see those flashing lights. That means it's working, right? If you're getting that, happy days. If you're not, then check your power supply first and work back from this point before you do anything else. If you lose connectivity for whatever reason on your internet, normally you'll get the lights on this bad boy, it'll go red, lost the internet. Now unfortunately for us, that also means losing the telephone. And the telephone is, guess what? Yes, it's another radio enabled device. So it's radio wave on a channel that links this one here, sending and receiving, to this bad boy here. And then any other handheld device, we've got the intercom, we'll test that later. The intercom with downstairs, who do not have this configuration connected downstairs. So isn't that useful? So we've got one set up here servicing both premises, and I think that is rather nice. Now we want a battery backup which is coming for this device while we're here, which had been installed downstairs, was supposed to go in upstairs. They got it wrong, so they're coming around sometime to put in a battery backup for that device there. That will electrify, power up the cable for the phone. Okay, so the phone power for the phone connectivity through that box has to be switched on by NBN Co. They're coming around to do it. And then there'll be a power backup. What for? Well, if you've got a security system at home, and in this area it's essential, absolutely essential, and we're getting one, because at the moment I'm here and I'm not much chop. I'm not fucking running downstairs like I would as a 25-year-old. You can forget that. So, yeah, I need security around here for the benefit of others as well as myself. And there's no shame in admitting that, get a security camera, take some steps to protect yourself. So, next.